Wake up, brother, gon' Step 1, wake up, brother, gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, brother, gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
To hear this, but let me put this out here. Stop sparing folks. Hello, somebody. Stop sparing folks. Nobody cared when your feelings was hurt. Nobody cared when you was pacing the floor. Nobody cared when you was sliding down the wall. Nobody cared when you was standing over there with a face full of tears. You had to suck it up, buttercup. But then when it come to other folk feelings, here you are, want to tiptoe around it, want to avoid the elephant in the room. I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to disturb the peace. Stop sparing folk. Ain't nobody spare you when it was your turn. Give it to them real. Give it to them raw. Give it to them uncut and uncensored. This is exactly what it is. This way you had me messed up at. Huh. Yeah. I ain't playing with nobody this season, baby.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
morning, all. I'm actually half dressed, believe it or not. I'm half dressed. And I know people who are on the East Coast used to be on the East Coast and say, what are you doing in bed at 10, 13 in the morning? I'm not. It's 7 over here. Olivia's polishing off a few final touches on a couple videos that she's going to be releasing sometime today. So we just took the time. We were up very late last night. Many of you guys were with me. So hi, good morning, everyone. Guidance first in chat today, followed by Sue, Unicorn, Indiana, Jenny, good morning, Kelly, Cool Gamer, nice to see you, Colleen, nice to see you too, Silly Chic, nice to see you, Pebbles, Teresa, Connie Branch. Guys, we need to say a huge prayer. I have been so busy. And I don't mean to share your business, Miss Connie, but many of you guys know Connie's been in our chat room for quite some time now. She's part of our family. And we were here with her when her son lost his life and she was struggling. And just recently, she just lost her husband. So if we can keep Connie in our prayers today, I would greatly appreciate it, this week. Give her some love, give her some prayers. Again, she is our family and she is struggling right now, and it's the holiday season. Many people are struggling. So, it's just, I don't even know what to say, Connie. I'm really, really sorry, honey. I'm really sorry. Jean, Patricia Miller, Grits and Grace. Nice to see you this morning. Caroline, Shani B, Maria Brown. Nice to see you. That song gives me motivation every morning. I know I've been trying to change it forever, but I just can't find a suitable replacement. So we just might be stuck with this a good day. I think it just kind of embodies a lot of the stuff, that we talk about on here. It's just, and it's cool that YouTube has it in their studio, right? So we can use it. So I'm very happy about that. I love that song. Yep. So much so we have a shirt now. And I've already talked to Sonia. So when we get back, we're going to work out, doing a raffle and raffling some tickets away. And, so hopefully whatever we get off that, we're going to be donating to a cause. I know the haters are going to be like, oh my God, we want receipts. First of all, you guys first don't have to purchase or do any raffle. If you know anything about me, I am a person of my word. I refuse to show receipts. I absolutely refuse to show receipts unless I absolutely want to. And I do it just to make the haters head spin. If you don't trust that I will be donating and saying then don't participate. Just that simple. Don't participate. But I do not feed into the hate and into the jellyfish. Won't do it. So if that's a problem for you, then maybe the raffle's not for you. So, but that is just how it's going to go, because at the end of the day, I don't have to tell you I'm donating it to anybody. We could be raffling and I can say it's to pay my light bill. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. If I choose to donate that money, which I want to do from the goodness of my heart, I will do that. I'm not going to have some person that doesn't even know me over in California telling me what I need to be doing with myself and my time. They mean nothing to me. Okay. The only people that matter here are the people that are in my chat, my victims, and the people that support these initiatives. That's it. Those are the only people that I owe anything to. Good morning, Miss Robin. Always keeping us fat on coffee. But thank God. I have to have cheap coffee for right now. But the good coffee's coming when we actually leave. I almost want to turn the camera just to embarrass Olivia.
I look like a mess right now.
I almost want to do that. We just get through. We're almost through these things. Robert's girl, nice to see you. Mama's bear. 1, 2, 3, boom. Reap what you sow. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you guys. Look at that. You're loved, Connie. You're loved. I hope you feel loved in here. You're part of the family, and we are so sorry. And when you hurt, we all hurt. So just so sorry that you're going through so much in 2022. And I'm just hopeful 2023 is a little better for you, babe. Mama Llama, nice to see you. Yes, there you guys go. If you guys are interested in getting one of those Good Day shirts or a number of shirts, like she even got remember the No Justice, No Peace shirt, with Dolly Vision, Chronicles of Olivia and Bullhorn Betty. That's available. So there's a lot of different stuff. And Sonia, if you want to post those on the Facebook, so they have, the collection that you've designed so far. I mean, I'm sure you've got a few of them now. I got a few of them. So post those on your Facebook page, and people can pick which one they want. So hopefully, I like it. I wore it yesterday. It fits great. It's good. It's a good quality shirt. It's printed directly on, so you have some washing instructions, but they're not too intimidating. So get your shirt and support one of our family members. And I can tell you, they're a lot more affordable than the stuff on Teespring. And you're not really supporting the channel, but you're supporting the channel through Sonia, because she supports the channel. So take that into consideration. Roxy, nice to see you. Florida Girl 420, Lady May. And if I missed you guys, Official Nikki. Oh, baby Yoda Trucker. Nice to see you, honey. Nana of 7. I did miss a few people. Tina, Karen, Miranda. So it's nice to see you guys all. And thank you for becoming our newest member. Do you even know what you got yourself into, girl? No, I'm just joking. This is the crazy group we call the Coffee Club. Oh, Lord, we're in trouble. So anyways, I don't know how many. Oh, Amy, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Sweet as sugar. Why do I not believe that? I don't know why I don't believe you. No, I'm just joking. Good morning. Good morning, all. Good morning. Sweetie Pie, nice to see you. Oh, that's the freshly washed, go to bed, and didn't blow dry hair. That's what happens when you get tired. Like, I have to blow dry my hair out, and I couldn't do it last night. I was so extremely tired. I literally, after I did the live, I went to take a shower, and I'm like, I don't even feel like taking, I'm sure it had only taken 5 minutes to blow dry the hair out. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Oh, ZZT. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. We're kicking out here. We're kicking. It's not as, I haven't had to put the big jacket on yet. I have to be honest. I haven't had to put the big jacket on. I don't know if it's because we had that horrible cold in Florida. Our bodies got adjusted to the cold. It was colder when we left Florida, guys. I'm not lying. When we left Florida, it was colder in Florida when we left than when we landed in Seattle, Washington. But it's unfortunate because we're hearing that it is possible, because all the snow is expected to come in. And even though we're not leaving right away, there's some snow. We might be stuck here. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we don't have some severe weather come in, over the next, week or so. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, guys, I do want to tell you, because many people, I got about 500 people in the chat. Don't forget to go out and like this. Many of you guys know that we are sitting here in Mascow, Idaho. We're covering the Idaho 4. For those that are just tuning in, the Idaho 4 is 4 university students killed in their off-campus housing in Mascow, Idaho. Kaylee, we learned, was fully graduated from school. She was literally there just to visit her friend, do some, sorority stuff. They went to a formal, on the, what was it, the 11th?
I believe yes, the 11th.
Yeah, the 11th. They went to a formal on the 11th. They did some other stuff. We know that Ethan and Ethan went to Betty's ball. We know Ethan and Xana went over to Sigma Chi fraternity party. So the fraternities and sororities have a big hand in in this community, as they do in many universities. The sororities and fraternities, they're supposed to be building character, giving you life lessons. That's really what they're to toughen you up for life. That's why they have them do stupid stuff. They bring them, it's almost like they break them down to build them up. They put them through all this humiliating stuff, and and then they start working on them, forcing them to do better at school. Not sure what happened. Just kicked my mic off. But we're on, you know, hotel internet, and I don't understand why they can't seem to get hotel internet working and functioning like it should. Sounds like Navy SEAL training. Yeah, you know, and it's probably just as dangerous. I mean, they made laws about hate because it was just getting people were pushing the envelope so much so that, you know, obviously children were losing their lives that were going to these universities just for trying to get into a sorority and, you know, be somebody in their school. And it wasn't fair, but we all know it still goes on. Every year we hear somebody that has lost their life. Olivia's been looking into a case, Hunter,
Um.
or not Hunter, it's
Uh.
Huds.
So it's the T. Oh my gosh. Tucker.
Oh, Tucker.
Hits. I'll look it up.
But there's even just recently there was how far Tucker Hips, and how long ago was this?
This happened 7 years ago in 2014.
So this happened even just as short as 7 years ago in 2014, and you know, still nobody has been held accountable for his death. And he was forced to walk on a rail, and he fell to his death, and his whole entire fraternity just left him there. Didn't do anything, and they're now living their lives, and the family has lost a very precious member, and nobody's been held accountable for that. And this happens every year all over this country. At least several of our young adults lose their life trying to get into a fraternity or sorority, and that's just fact. So does the sorority and fraternity have something to do with it? I think it's connected, but I don't think it's connected the way we think it's connected. It may be connected in a sense because maybe that's the triggering event that caused this heinous crime to be committed. You know, maybe it was somebody that was formerly associated with the fraternity or the sorority. I mean, we believe that this was a man. I have said that from the gate. I don't understand how any female would put themselves in jeopardy like that, especially with Ethan being in the house. I mean, a guy can, I mean, let's be honest, there's only a few women that are built to take on an athletic man. But there are still some women that are built to take on an athletic man. So we can't disregard it fully. It's just more unlikely. And but it still is possible. I think we always talk about the possible and probable. Anything's possible, but is it probable? And that's where we come in. And I'm not sure if a female is probable, but there are some nuances that would you know, increase that probability. But we haven't learned of those yet. But you know, there are some people I've watched YouTube, and I see that there are some creators coming out with some names and explaining why those names are being brought up. And even though it's odd for me to believe that there's a possibility that a female from a sorority or somebody that hung out there could potentially do it, I just think that at this point, every person that hasn't been cleared by law enforcement is on the table. You know, they have to be. And I really wish that law enforcement would release some more information. And we're hearing tidbits about what is the TM for? Oh, it's because when I first got out here, everybody was it means that it is trademarked. So Bullhorn Betty's trademarked. And so that's what the TM stands for. When that thing turns to R, that means that registration is done. So that means I'm fully through all the processes. So, you know, everything stops once that application's in. So they've got to do their due diligence and whatnot. But it takes about 1.5 to 2 years to get through the process for the registration. So that's where we're at. Those guys didn't look strong or athletic. The one couldn't even slide the glass door. Some of these guys, I'm sorry, we talk about it all the time. And I hate saying this, and some people may have a sour taste in their mouth after I say this, but I'm kind of blunt. And, you know, I try to soften my opinion a little bit, but I still am blunt. And I'm sorry, but these schools these days are building a bunch of sissies, okay? They're not Tonka tough. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to school, you know, a lot of people worked with their hands. A lot of people were manly men. You know, they did a lot of manly men stuff. And nowadays they're pushing all these guys into, and females too, into, you know, internet stuff. Like these guys don't even know how to change. Oh, I'm gonna change this. Okay, hold on. Because I was waiting for I was waiting for the police department to call me back yesterday, so I turned my my do not disturb off, and now I got to put it back on. I hate people that call me and I don't know who they are. So we've got an on contacts only. 911 is going to be released, just announced on another channel. Yeah, but let's just see what's going. Hold on, give me just a second, guys. I'm just going to read any see if we have any new updates from Mascow Police Department. Maybe that'll derive some information while it works there. So if I get hicked up here, if I start buffering a little bit, just bear with me. I am trying to just read something, but I'm popping up a new screen, even though you guys can't see it. That's what I'm doing over here. Bring back manly men. I know, right? Like it's just like back in the day, the men used to be the protectors. And it's like, you know, sometimes I like this day and age, it's just like, you know, are they even capable of protecting? They don't want to learn how to shoot guns. It's just like, are you kidding me? Do you realize that life literally can change in a split second and it takes 5 minutes for law enforcement to get there with guns? Like, I don't get it, but I'm not, you know, to each their own. I'm a liberty person. You do what you want. I'm just saying, I'm 43 years old. I'm not that old. You know, Olivia's 24 years old. So there's literally a 20-year difference. And in 20 years, we went from having manly men that were protectors to sissies. You can't make this stuff up. But this is not what the conversation is about. But again, I do believe that there is a certain type of woman build of a woman that could take on a man. And so I just want to say that there is a possibility, just not probable. We know it's most likely. I think if we open it up and start looking at women, we're going to start really going down a rabbit hole. And I'm not going to be going down that rabbit hole, but I do want to at least be honest that there is the idea that there's no possibility that this could be a female is, you know, is not a good statement to make. And I'm not going to make that statement. It is possible, but not probable. That's the statement I'm going to make. These boys, Noel's, what does it say? Now, okay, these boys nowadays don't know how to change a tire. That's the point. Change a tire. Like, you know, it's true. You know, that would be really insane. Okay. You got a guy on the side of a road and a female's got to pull up and show him how to change a tire. I am sorry. If that is, to me, if that happened and I was a male, I would be utterly and highly embarrassed. Guys, learn how to change a tire. And if you really wanted to push the envelope, learn how to change some brakes. Okay. If Bullhorn Betty can do it, I believe in you. No, people are in the clouds. They are so into, and that might have a reason why we have so many angry people. Because, you know, those Comic-Con, they have villains, okay? And, you know, sometimes people like to be the villain. I don't get it. I don't like being the villain. I like the good guy, right? I like the person anyways. So yesterday, for those that are tuning in, we have almost 700 people. Don't forget to like this. We actually met with Kaylee's family and learned about her life. And while I'm not going to share a whole lot about that conversation, Olivia is working on the video and the interview, but how it all went out is, you know, many of you guys don't know, or maybe you do know, I don't know. But Kaylee Gonzalez actually followed Chronicles of Olivia. And she followed, we believe, since Gabby Petito. And she was a big fan of Chronicles of Olivia. We didn't realize how much. Yes, we met with the family. So we didn't realize how much she admired Chronicles of Olivia and the work that she did that we did. Because I mean, we've been doing this since Gabby Petito. There's not really a case that we all have worked on together. And it's just sad because um, and listen to this, like she even talked to her family. She's like, oh my gosh, you got to watch Chronicles of Olivia, da 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 da. So we didn't know all this, but we did. What was crazy is, you guys remember, if you were with me on our first trip, and remember how I talked to you guys about um, Olivia, she kind of was like, got really excited in the car, and I didn't understand for that split second. I told you I couldn't explain. Well, what it was Steve Gonsalves actually emailed her, reached out to her to talk to her. And that opened the communication. And we had an opportunity to ask him, what, out of all people, what made you reach out to Olivia? And he basically said that, I think it makes him feel a little connected to his daughter. He knew that that was somebody that she absolutely adored online. And it wasn't, and he even expressed that it went farther than just a normal subscription, that she just follows. She was really into the work and the creativity of Olivia. And so, some people can't start. Sorry, I was reading that. I got sidetracked. We'll go back to the stick shift. Let me start that so we can go back to that. And so he reached out to her, and that started the conversation. And that's one of the reasons why we came back, is because we were personally invited to the memorial, Kaylee's memorial. And it's an honor to be invited by the family here. And so we ended up commuting over to Coeur d'Alene yesterday, and meeting with Steve, which is Kaylee Gonsalves' father, her mother Christy, and her sister Olivia. And we bought them lunch, and just sat down and just let them know who we were. And we got to know them, and just sat there and chit chatted a little bit, about Kaylee, about Maddie, about the university life, and how proud they were of her. It was very heartbreaking, I have to tell you. While we were sitting there talking to them, it was pretty light. It wasn't too overly emotional. For us, I know no matter what, I mean, it's got to be overly emotional for that entire family for everything. But God bless them, because they're still trying to find answers. They're put in an unthinkable circumstance, where there is no book on telling you what you're going to go through, how to navigate this process. Nothing. This is not the first time families have lost their children. This is not the first time families have lost their children at universities. It's not the first time a horrific crime has happened, such as this. And still, there's not anything that's out there to help the family or guide the family or anything. And that really is almost insult to injury. Like, they should be having, victim, some kind of counselor there, somebody that's has experienced this themselves, somebody with personal experience of this, an advocate, victim advocate, and that helps guide this family. And I know we have them all over this country, but maybe sometimes just having something like a pamphlet that people can read, or something that just gives them a list of resources that they can use to help. I mean, it just seems like that is really missing, and it's sad, but it's sad that we have to make a pamphlet like this. That's what's getting to me, that we should have to make a pamphlet like this. But it's starting to become apparent that a pamphlet needs to start being handed out to families in crisis, because they feel left behind. And as you can imagine, how would you act? I mean, I can't imagine. And think about me, if something like this happened to me or my family. I would be. You think my fight for the victims here is bad? Wait until it's my own family. You're talking about Bullhorn Betty on steroids. Are you kidding me? Like, how the hell would you act? So after lunch, again, just kept it really light. we talked to them and they actually invited us back to their home. We didn't go right back to the house. Steve had to go to work and handle a few things, but last night we got to really meet the family. And I think the one thing that gives me comfort out of both, Maddie and Kaylee is how much they were loved by their family. A lot of people are speculating, that this was, that they were probably most likely, because you don't know them. And, we have to, but a lot of people speculate. I do it myself. It's, I'm not ashamed of it. I think everybody does it. I think it's human nature. When you're given limited information, you make do with the limited information that you have, and this is how it is. But a lot of people brought up the Mean Girls Club, they were part of the Mean Girls Club, or, potentially part of the Mean Girls Club. And when they discussed, like, even Maddie and how, sweet and kind she was, even to the younger children, how older kids don't like the younger kids and all that stuff. We all know, if anybody that's had an older sister or an older brother, or was the older sister or older brother, you know exactly what we're talking about. You didn't like hanging out with your dorky little brother or little sister, it wasn't like that. Like, it just seemed, now was she like a perfect child, never made a mistake? I mean, good God, I'm not saying that, kids are kids, right? We have problems with our kids. Our kids get mouthy sometimes. So what? It's life. They grow up. But for the grand scheme of things, it sounded like they were very sweet girls. It seemed like they were more of the popular, inclusive type of group. Like, they just, come on, guys, let's go. I don't know. Come on, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't seem like they're like, oh, right, let's sneak out of here. Let's get away from these people. Oh my God. It just didn't seem like they were that kind of person. They were normal. I'm sure they had their normal problems. Obviously somebody had a problem. I mean, 4 people are dead. But there is something that, now that I've got, we're almost to 800 people in the chat. Don't forget to like this segment. But I did, for those that are listening, we did kind of confirm some information last night about the bar stuff, the reliable source. We have a reliable source. Many of you guys know, before we went to Coeur d'Alene, you guys could see that I posted a video out in front of the Corner Club yesterday. And we spoke to a reliable source, very reliable. So I would say the information in for me is confirmed. But before I tell you what was confirmed, I want to address something else. A lot of people are putting a lot of emphasis into Jack D. Okay. I'm telling you, whether you agree with me or not, you're wasting your time. And I really think the time could be used on somebody that is more of a suspect than Jack D. The only reason why Jack D is a suspect is because he was the ex-boyfriend of Kaylee. Even though he has been cleared by the state police, cleared by Mascow police, cleared by the FBI, has been supported 1,000, 2,000% by the Gonsalves family. We're out here, and I'm telling you, there is no history of violence. There is nothing. This kid doesn't appear to be able to hurt a fly. I understand that we, as people on the other end of the screen that don't know these people, that don't know their personality, think about this. If any of you have children, you know your child. Let somebody come up and tell you that your child murdered somebody. You know your child better than anybody else. You know whether you're in denial and know that they're capable of it. Either way, you know in your heart and in your soul what your child is capable of. Okay? We, as people on the other end of the screen, had no relationship with this person, have no idea their personality, have never spoken, talked to, nothing. You know nothing about these people. So it's easy for us to point the finger and say, they're the suspect. I know they're the suspect. And we use statistics. Statistically, if Kaylee Gonsalves was the only person killed in that home, then yes, Jack D would be the primary suspect in this case. Okay? She wasn't the only person killed. He is not the prime suspect in this case. In fact, he's been cleared. I personally am not looking at Jack. You guys know when I came back on my first trip, I told you it wasn't Jack. You guys don't have to believe the work that I do, but many of you do, because you know my batting average. You know that no matter how much hate, I've always done the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And I've always made sure that I was factual and I was right before, especially before ever protesting, ever. Since debuting on YouTube, I think we've facilitated maybe 3 protests. You'd think that's all we did, right? You would think that we don't look for people, we don't help families, we don't, advocate for the victims and stuff based upon the haters because I've used a bullhorn 3 times. Ooh, so what? No big deal. It's, sometimes you need pressure. That's what we bring. So when we need to, right? When we need to. But just hearing that and knowing that both of those girls were loved, like these parents, Christy, even Olivia, like the sister, she's like, she was my sister, she was my 5th sister, right? Because Kaylee Gonzalez was the middle child, so she had 2 older siblings and 2 younger siblings, but Kaylee was like her twin. So I don't know how to explain it, but these families were blended, believe it or not, because of these girls. Even Maddie's mom and stepdad, which is her father or her dad, it's the one, from what my understanding, that raised her. I don't, we know about Ben, and he's, been being contacted, and, he came out and gave an interview. He's obviously hurting. Maddie was their only child. And of course, Kaylee was their adopted child, right? So they were sisters, and the families were blended because of their friendship, and it was beautiful. And I think again, the one thing that gave me comfort in all of this was knowing that they both had a very beautiful life. They were both loved their families immensely. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, but when I was hearing, and Christy was, and they were all talking about, past memories they had with Kaylee, it's hard not to choke up. Like, I was sitting there throughout the entire interview, trying not to cry at certain things. I feel like it's unprofessional, and it's like, but sometimes there's just some things that just get to you. But I held it together. But then as I'm packing up, I can't even remember what Christy said. Oh, I know exactly what it was. We were looking at some photos and we looked up, and Maddie and Kaylee were together. And I didn't realize what she was saying because there was 2 boxes there, and she's like, yeah, we're waiting for the urns to come in. And I'm like, I did a double take, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just realized what you said. They're here. And she said, yes. And I just had to turn. I started walking toward the door, and it said, a few tears. I'm holding it together. But I'm sorry. A couple tears started coming out, and I'm just trying to get out that door. I just trying to make sure that they don't see me. I don't want to upset the family, but it's hard. It's hard hearing this. It's hard hearing how sweet these girls were, how they aspired to do better and to make the world a better place. And, people just don't know them. They don't really know Kaylee. They don't really know Maddie, and they don't know Jack. And it's so sad that, even with all this information clearing Jack D, people are still harassing that man that just lost his best friend and the love of his life. Even though they were getting back together, guys, they loved each other. They got, they were together 5 years. I mean, every now and again, think about it. I've even packed a bag and left, to go stay with my mom a couple nights when my ex-husband and I were not doing well. I mean, come on. It's common. It doesn't, just because you have a disagreement. But what I can say is it sounds like Jack treated her really well. He never said a bad word to her. He never lost his cool with her and called her a bad name like many of us do when we get angry with our significant other. They're a SOB, a POS, the alphabet soup of curse words, right? It was never like that. And even in their break, they still talked every single day. Not something that you would think that somebody, I mean, I can understand if it was a tumultuous relationship, if he was abusive, possessive, controlling, you know, those types of things. You would think that that would be a telltale sign that but none of those things. They want Jake. Yeah, and that's sad. And that's sad. That man does not deserve to be destroyed. Don't you think he's destroyed enough? You know, the future mother of his children is in a box. And people say, I'm heartless? You have got to be kidding me. The difference between me is I get educated, and I get educated quick, right? We study these cases, we go through them, we do massive amounts of research. We bring a lot of people in to help, because trust me, these types of cases, putting types of cases, talking about these types of cases factually is something that I would not be able to do all alone. Okay. So he says, I'm trying not to hate, but I think you're a fantasy view. I know a lot of young people that have been together a long time, and even when they get along, they had arguments. Yeah, the people have arguments. People break up. People break up and their significant gets murdered by somebody else. You know, I don't know what to tell you guys. You guys can keep on. This is what I'm going to say. You guys can keep on Jack D all you want to. It's going to go absolutely nowhere, because I am truly 100% convinced he has nothing to do with it. And for me to put that kind of statement behind it, I have to have a good understanding of at least that. Okay. So I'm telling you guys can keep going down that rabbit hole, but I would think that, you know, we could utilize people's help on other names. His name has been through the grinder. I mean, think about it. He's went through the public scrutiny. I mean, we are harder on these cases than the police are. So he's gone through public scrutiny. Okay. Many people that scrutinized him at the beginning, yeah, after we've done our duty, we don't think that he has anything to do with it. I feel in my heart and soul, 1,000%. You know, I believe people are saying the family blind. I don't think the family blindly just said, "Oh, he didn't do it." Are you kidding me? Have you been watching the interviews with Steve Gonsalves? Does he look like the father that just says, "Oh, my daughter loved you so much, so we're just going to believe you"? Are you kidding me? I don't know what father you guys have been watching on the interviews, but the man I've been watching on the interviews doesn't look like he's just believing anybody and everybody. So I would have to think that family probably just trust and believe. I think everybody needs to get back off D. It's time for us to start moving to somebody that really could have done this crime. That man, not so much. I know it sounds good when you say it, but when you actually, you know, I talk about the sissy boys. Okay, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm not trying to be mean to Jack D, but to me, looks like a sissy boy. Okay, he's a sissy. It looks like his sister could beat him up. Let's be real. Not the mass murderer kind. Scott Peterson was a big dude. Scott Peterson was pretty, you know, kind of shocking. JLR's new video is a shocker, they say. I have not seen it personally because I've been running. Never attack, though, or name call or say anything other than alleged and keeping it proper. Yeah. You know, and we talk about these cases, and we have to, because I think I think speculation has led to a lot of fact. And it's part of the fact-finding process. How do you know which angle to go unless you speculate what could have possibly happened? You know, all the possibilities. You literally, whether they use a whiteboard piece of paper, you list every possibility of who it could be, including a big old fat question mark, right? I don't know, right? That is still needs to be on the list. The big old fat question mark. You have name, and then a big old question mark. You have theory. What could have caused this to happen? It's so tragic that some of the monsters snuffed the life out of those. Yes. that some monster did. Yes, absolutely. And the worst part about it is that, can you imagine, like, this monster is a college age kid, a young adult was capable of such atrocities. It's just, it's mind blowing. It's gut wrenching. It's kind of sickening. But I just want to express, guys, we've got to start moving our focus to other people in and around this party house. Jack D is literally a nothing burger, and it literally, like, I loathe people talking about him anymore, because it's like, get over it. Let's move on. We need new names. We need to, start looking at new people. We need to, start looking at this stuff. Who could have done it? I've got a stack of flyers that I'm going to be passing out either today or tomorrow. Not sure exactly which, but we're going to be getting out and about. So we actually got to start getting ready now. I'm wondering what kind of parents this monster had. Good question. But talking about the parents, I think the parents of this student know that this child has committed this act. I really do. I believe the parents should be coming forward and telling law enforcement what they know, because at the end of the day, if their child did this to 4 people, he's a danger even to them, and they should be protecting themselves and their family at this point. What are you looking for? It is on the back of the door.
Okay, I have the key. I'm gonna record my voice outside. Thank you.
I would really prefer if you could just slip some breeches on.
Breeches. This is not the 1800s.
I don't care if it's the 1800s or not. I don't like seeing dental floss. Just saying. We're not going to go through that conversation again. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Hi, Paul. Yeah, you can send me an email, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. But look at Chandler Halderson. Chandler Halderson. Okay, let me get. I don't even have my pen. Let me get one of my notes pulled up. Chandler. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. Let's start throwing some new names out here. I'm reading the chat right now. I think this guy had military training. Believe it or not, is it Lauer? If I said your name right, Laur, Lauer. Hopefully I said that right. I think this guy is military trained. It's possible. It's definitely possible. I think this was a rage fit. I don't think military had anything to do with it. Just my personal opinion. But you know what? It very well could be. And it hasn't been excluded. I can tell you that. It hasn't been excluded in my mind. It hasn't been resolved in law enforcement's mind, because they actually did, that was brought up. Do they think that this was potentially a, somebody in the ROTC program? All right, let me see what this is. So what did we say his name was? His name was, I just saw it here. Did it go up too far? Maybe I need to go down a little bit. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I was talking and I think it went up. Let me see if I can find the name again. Yeah, the Adam guy. Yeah, we know about Hudson Johnson. We'll put him on here. And then we had the other name that I missed, and I think it went up on me. Hold on here. Let me see. Adam. It sounds like Adam is cool, but again, I don't know much about him personally. So yeah, I'm putting him, he's already on the list. Chandler Halderson. That's it. First time I heard that person's name. Look at parents of other mass murderers. That actually, Emmy, that's not bad. It's not bad. I believe, guys, I did hear that our beloved Sepsis Kills, Emma, that's always in here, a mod of mine. She's been a mod of mine for a really long time. Love her to death. I just want to also say a prayer for her. I did briefly, in passing every now and then to catch a message in my mod squad chat. And I believe that she had to have emergency surgery. Many of you guys know she struggles with some major illnesses, and she gets septic quite a bit throughout the year, and it's really scary. And so they're doing surgery on her. So please, everybody, please keep Sepsis Kills in your prayers, as she may have already had the surgery. She may be in recovery, but either way, if she's watching, we love you, we miss you, and we hope you start feeling better. All right, so let me move this over here so I can keep reading the chat, guys. Let's see. So Hudson Johnson is very large, bigger than Ethan. He knew Ethan for a year and a half. Yeah, and I did see that and had some conversations with other people about that very specific thing about Hudson Johnson as well, and his girlfriend Emily. And his girlfriend Emily is built like a brick shit house. Excuse my language, no pun intended. But she's very she doesn't mind getting dirty. She's a hunter. She's big boned. She looks like she could handle herself. And that's kind of why I was going into the whole, is it possible that it could be a woman? And, it's that type of woman. When you look at somebody like Kaylee and Maddie, and you think of a female like that, then your mind changes and says, no, there is no way possible a female could commit this crime. But then when you see somebody like a female Mike Tyson, you start thinking, well, maybe it is possible a female could have done this. If she could whip a man. I mean, this girl looks like she can handle herself, is all I'm saying. And that's when it just, it's just perception. And do I want to think a female did this? Of course not. Do I really believe that a female did this? No, I really don't. In the grand scheme of things, I could be 100% wrong. We could find out this is a female tomorrow. But in my gut, I just don't feel it. There's just a brutality of this particular crime to me that screams man. And again, Jazz in the Field, did you see the past 5 stabbings in Canada of college student? Guy was released in 2018. LE was watching the Canada border for the white car. Very interesting perspective. And everything was true on here. LE was watching the Canadian border for the white Elantra. People have been speculating whether that white Elantra is a red herring, if it's a witness, it's a major witness, or if it's a assailant or assailants. So, but I did not hear about the person that killed being released in 2018. I'm sure somebody has released that information, but this is the first I'm hearing about that. So thank you, Jazz in the Field, for that little tidbit of information. Thank you, Patty. Aw, we love you too. Virtual hug. Virtual hug. Laugh out loud. I never wore a thong in my life. Also, Chandler Halderson killed his parents, I think is what you were trying to say. I just sent an email. Okay, hold on, Paul. Let me see what you got here. I don't know what it is. If you sent it to Bullhorn Betty, it hasn't come in. Let me see if it went to my spam. Spam. No. If you sent it, it hasn't come in yet. My last inbox, I got something at 4:26 this morning and something at 7:28 this morning. So really not a whole lot. Actually, my emails have went down to like 4 or 5 a day. So now I can probably catch up when I get home. So Chandler is in the same prison as Chris Watts. Wow. So Chandler Halderson is not, let me take that off my notes. I thought it was associated with this. I did not hear about Chandler Halderson. So I thought this was associated with this case, but it's not. So we still have Hudson Johnson. Oh, let me go up here and put Emily because her name's now surfacing. And Adam, which I don't believe is there. But I just think we need to start looking at other people. We need to get off Jack D. It's just, it's seriously, I wouldn't be, I just need new life breathed back into this case. We can't keep blaming the same people that we've been blaming from the very beginning. If it was him, he would be arrested by now. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm telling you, this kid did not do this. I don't know what I can say. He's been cleared thoroughly. I mean, thoroughly cleared by multiple people. There are some things that are, I don't want to express here, you know, we'll wait until after the new year about some more information as to why, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we're privy to at this moment that we can't release and we're not going to release. And I just, Olivia's working on a video, the interview with the family, and that's going to be released on January 5th, she said. And that interview is going to be, you guys are going to really get to see it. And I'm going to tell you guys, just up front, you will probably cry. I'm telling you, it's hard not to cry. It's hard not to cry when you hear our interview. So let's just keep the family in our, oh, thank you guys. Chandler chopped up his parents, Andrew. Yeah, I got that. Thank you for informing me. It's still early and I'm going on 4 hours of sleep today. So just bear with me. And actually, as a matter of fact, it's time for me to finish my face and start getting out of here. The bad thing is here, people don't understand. It's like, we want to get up and out of here at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Nothing is really pumping here. Like, it's still dark. It gets dark here at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're very limited on our time. But we've got to get out of here. We have literally a full day slam packed with stuff that we're going to be doing. I may go live out in the field. I know a lot of people, it seems, aren't getting a lot of notifications. If you guys are missing your notifications, I haven't been making people, be on here or be subscribed for a day. You know, when the hate starts getting, and we have a lot of trolls coming in here, I changed my my settings so it limits how many people can be here, how much times they have to be subscribed to the channel before they can comment, things like that. Those are just things to tamp down on that trolling that happens on just about every single channel. Why they get off on it, I don't know. They're idiots. That's all I can say. But either way, that's the way it goes. So now when we get off here, if you guys didn't get the notification that I was live, there's two things you may want to do, because it will you will be able to comment the next live I go to, because it's going to be 20 minutes to an hour, away before I go live again. So go out there and unsubscribe and resubscribe. Don't do it now, because if you do it now, you won't be able to comment for 20 minutes. But when we end this live, if you didn't get the notification, go make sure your bell is set to all and that you unsubscribe and resubscribe. This will help re-trigger that notification process. I'm not sure why people didn't get the notification yesterday is that they should, because there were people that were online, but I don't think anybody was getting notifications last night about the live that I did. But either way, we did have several people in. We were able to talk. If you guys did not see that live, it's fairly short. It's about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. Not as short as this one, because I'm about to get off here. We've got to get going. We got to get our day started. We got a lot of work to do. But you should go back and check it, because I did provide you guys a little insight. I didn't go back and watch it. I'm exhausted. I can't remember really what I said last night because I was delusional from exhaustion. But hey, it might be just the delusional part of me might have been comical. Can't even talk. Comical for you guys. But don't worry, guys. I am drinking coffee. I started getting a migraine last night coming back and realized I hadn't had coffee all day. And check this out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I forgot to tell you. How did I forget? So we we went to Lake City High School. Lake City High School is where, and I think I want to drop those videos. I'll drop those videos when we're driving and stuff like that. I need to get those videos ready. But we went to Lake City High School. This was the high school that Kaylee and Maddie went to. It was where they graduated from before going over to the University of Idaho and things of that nature. But while we were there, we realized that the coffee house that Kaylee went to was a place known as Jitters. And they're really cute. They're popped up all over Coeur d'Alene, and they're like little, I want to call them shacks, but they're not shacks. They're cute, you know, but they're shacks. They're like little coffee shacks that are strategically placed around the community. And it's like a drive-through. You pull up, you order. Oh, the coffee is amazing, by the way. Absolutely, utterly amazing. Lake City High School in Coeur d'Alene. Yep, that's it. KCL. That's correct. We were there. The community Coeur d'Alene is very beautiful. It really is. It's pretty. It was just nice seeing where she grew up, how she grew up. It was just, you know, when you work on these cases and you almost, it's crazy because these cases almost become an extension of you. And it's like, you know, the more we learn about Kaylee, the more she feels like part of our personal family, which helps us want to, you know, be in her corner even more. Yeah, we have Excedrin, but what it was is I literally had no coffee yesterday until we got to Jitters. But listen to this. This is the crazy thing. We pull up now. I thought she was going to be at the Jitters right next to, because we hear she was working at Jitters like in the when she was going to high school. So down the road from Lake City High School is one of those Jitter shacks. Well, I didn't realize it because I was looking on the map and I was just picking any Jitter. I just wanted to see what it was. And I thought I hit the closest one on the GPS, but the GPS was taking us a different way. So as we were passing, I was making a left-hand turn, which is 3 lanes away from the Jitters shack that was right there near the school. And I'm like, oh crap, I bet you that was hers. But we went and proceeded because the traffic was, you know, getting a little fuller there, and I couldn't just stop and U-turn and go back to that one. So I'm like, you know what, we're not really recording this. We just wanted to get some coffee and see where she went. Wouldn't you know that we ended up pulling up at the next one, and it was the actual one she worked at. And I'm like, this is insane to me. Like, there's been so many subliminal stuff related to Kaylee that it's just, it creeps me out a little bit. I have to be honest with you. Even our first trip, it's like we saw good vibes everywhere. We saw the sign in their window. Next thing we know, we started seeing it on you know, little things around the county that said good vibes or something. And it wasn't until I put those sweatpants on that my sister gave me. Never wore them before. My little sister, she didn't need them anymore. She was coming here. My mom gave them to me. She told me I could have them. I put them on for the first time. I looked down, and I've got stitching in these sweatpants that says good vibes. And I literally, like, it's crazy, but they are, I feel like they're subliminal messaging. I don't know. And it's just a little crazy. Do I think the subliminal message means I got good vibes, or they had good vibes? I don't know. But the good vibes just stood out on our last trip here. It really did. And so I have information for you, Ben. Okay. All right. I'll be on the lookout for that. I haven't really been in Messenger much, but Crime Stories Obsessed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll check the Messenger now and see what's going on there. So, or Hauser Lake. What's Hauser Lake, KLC? I know, it's really weird. And it's like, you know, in this trip here, it's like there's just a lot of, you know, just weird stuff that just, it's like, oh my gosh, we feel like it's a sign. Like, it feels subliminal to us. It just feels like, I don't know if I'm even using subliminal correctly, but it just feels really weird. Yeah, we're going to be tonight. We'll be in the area. Leslie, we'll be going to several different places. We haven't really, you know, when we got here, we had our everything planned, very strategically planned, but there were some things that happened where we had to adjust the adjust our schedule a little bit. And thank God we had a couple days to play with to be able to adjust our schedule. So today is kind of the day that we're kind of going to bring a lot of the stuff we've been hearing out there, and we're going to give you guys some more context. Oh, do I want to say this yet or not? No, but there's a key piece of information that we are now understanding based upon that body cam footage that was released. It's not Jack in that picture. It's already been Serene. No. It is Jack. In that photo, in that bar, that is Jack D. It has been confirmed by a reliable source that is Jack D. And I tell you guys that because he's still, even though he was in that photo and even though he was at that bar and even though those girls called him, he still didn't do it. He still didn't do it. I don't know what to tell you. He still didn't do it. So it's time for us to start looking at a different avenue than Jack D. I know that that a lot of you guys still believe Jack D, but I just think if you need to, keep him on your list. Put him further down on the bottom of the list, but we have to start moving on from Jack D. We have to start no, that's not accurate. I don't know if that's what she said or not, but that's not, I'm telling you, it's Jack D. It's Jack D. Well, you guys got to understand that was like a screenshot. It might have just been a screenshot of when Maddie was speaking. She just might have been the person that was that was speaking. Like when you have 3 people standing around, you're not all talking over each other, you're like having a conversation. So Jack may have been talking to Kaylee. Kaylee may have been saying something to him. And Maddie may have been talking, you know how that goes, conversation. So it just may have been that particular screenshot was taken while Maddie was the one conversating and actually engaging in the speech. Did you give Betty info on Ray? If not, please do. No, you can't be sure of that. Nobody who's committed these murders. Nobody said he couldn't be out. Move on from Jack. Yeah, we need to move on from Jack. But Serena, I think you may have misunderstood, or that may have happened. She may have stated that. I don't know. And where did you guys see her state that? And you guys got to make sure that it wasn't a troll. At the end of the day, you have to make sure it wasn't a troll, because there are creators out here that literally manufacture evidence for a click and a view to say, oh, look at this. I'm sorry, but they don't tell you that their digital design team, it took them 3 hours to produce that because they had to put this silhouette in the background. I just don't trust unreliable photos anymore, because I used to. Remember when I was first out and I first came out, I was so naive and had no idea about this trolling, had no idea what gaslighting was, had no idea that I'm a normal person. Like I'm thinking of in normal, person brain, thinking who would waste their time manufacturing evidence for YouTube. And then I realized for clicks and views, some people don't even do it. They just do it to screw with cases. And I'm just like there's some twisted people out here in this world, just twisted. I don't quite understand it. One of the girls seemed to be wearing a coat that was maybe borrowed it. Who owns the coat? Lisa, great question. And you know why that question is great? Because Olivia and I were talking. Olivia, not Olivia. Olivia, the Chronicles, the Crons, right? Her and I had brought that up ourselves. That jacket on Kaylee, where did it come from? It doesn't look, in my opinion, like it belongs to her. It looks like she may have been cold. She was wearing that like tube top thing, and she may have gotten cold, and somebody may have said, here's a jacket, right? So who was it that loaned her that jacket? That does not appear to be her jacket. It doesn't appear to be something that she would be accustomed to wearing. It seems like she likes, tighter fitting clothes. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful or anything like that, but they are 20 somethings and they had cute, figures. And it seemed like they liked, more formed fitting clothing. That coat looks like it belongs to a football player. It's pretty big. It looks like if she covered it up, it looks like a trench coat on her. And probably just a normal jacket for somebody a little bit taller or bigger. So I don't know where that jacket came from, but yes, we did notice that as well. But it's kind of funny. One of the reasons why I didn't bring up the whole jacket thing is because I was trying to do a little digging on that, but I probably should have brought that up before we left because we knew about it before we left. We were analyzing the footage of the grub truck and it kept looking at it and it just is hanging off of her. It's not her jacket. It doesn't fit her. Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't hers. That might be a clue, whose jacket was it? So anyways, guys, we've been on here for an hour. It's already 8:20. I just got to finish up my makeup and I've got to head out the door. So I hope everyone has a great day. Stay tuned. We are, again, live from Mascow, Idaho, and we have a pretty big day lined up. Please stay tuned, guys. We are going to be dropping a lot of videos. I've got a lot of stuff that I still haven't even dropped. It seems to me, it's so weird. Like out of everybody that's involved in this case, it seems like the Chapin family just doesn't want to be involved in any of it. Like, I don't quite understand, what they're going through. But it doesn't seem like they're, I don't know. It just, even with the first interview, because Ethan's mom was the very first person that broke her silence and provided an interview. And she was just so matter of fact about everything and just almost robotic and cold. I mean, I know they're in pain. Don't get me wrong. There was just something, and I'll do respect. This is not to be disrespectful or anything like that, but it just seems to me that they're, I don't know. I don't want to say cold, but just, it was just odd. It's just odd. So I don't know. It just, something doesn't feel right with their response to all of this. And that's just my personal views. It just seems, and maybe you guys feel the same way. Maybe you don't. You saw the same thing. It isn't disrespectful. Yeah, it seems odd to me that, this is a triplet. You would think that Maisie and Hunter, they seem like a tight-knit family that like doing sports and things of that nature. You would think that they would bring some of that tenacity and that passion and grit and fight for Ethan. And you hear crickets from them. You hear crickets, and it's like, man, I pray to God, if anything happens to me, I hope my family is more like the Gonzalez. I hope they don't give a shit. I hope they don't care about whose feelings they hurt. They want justice. They want to know what the hell goes on. That's, I want somebody in my corner fighting for me. I don't want them sitting on their hands saying, oh, we have to, I understand other children, you can't stop your life, but just to pass it and say like, they used to be 3 and now they're 2. What? Like it's just like they have a different brain. It was just odd for me. I don't know. I felt it was just totally odd. They really haven't talked to people. Anybody that, they were very quick to bring all of Ethan's social media down. They're just an odd family. They just weird. Xana's family's come out. Obviously Kaylee, Maddie, but Ethan's family just seems like, I don't know, very cold, silent, unengaged. And It's I don't know how I feel about that, I guess, is really the question. Oh, well, that's sweet. That's sweet. My heart bleeds for all the families. They really do. But I'm still just, I don't know. I'm still a little perplexed because I don't understand. We're learning that a 911 call, at least on YouTube, we're learning that the 911 call was most likely made by a Hunter Johnson. We're learning that Hunter Johnson was a room or a neighbor to that particular house, 1122 King Road, and that, you know, him and his girlfriend Emily were over at that property an awful lot partying. Just about every single one of those body cam footage of the party house has Hunter in it. So I can kind of see the stretch. Barbara? No, he isn't. No, he hasn't. Let's look at the true facts. Let's put this in perspective, in my opinion. From out the gate, this man has been condemned, harassed, threatened, called. It just, nobody's even given this man an opportunity to grieve the loss of his girl. He's a young adult that's dealing with horrific circumstances, horrific, and then being accused of a heinous crime he didn't commit. Yeah, I think as a 20-something, I would be shutting down too. I would probably be letting the adults take care of this as well. You know, I can only imagine that his family, as well as the Gonzalez family, has told him, you know, just, you know, keep thick skin. If it gets too bad, just, you know, I could just imagine that be going on. You know, they love that boy. They know that boy was going to be the father to their future grandchildren, that, by the way, they were robbed of. So we have to be a little kinder. You know, just because we think something is possible doesn't make it so. And I think this is the classic case of Jack D. He is the ex-boyfriend. In normal circumstances, if it was just Kaylee that was dead, then most likely it would have to do with some type of entanglement man situation. That's not what we're looking at here. And I think people are applying certain statistics to certain cases inappropriately in this case. Because statistically, if Kaylee was home and was murdered by herself, we would know that she would have been the target. She was the primary target. And you look at that, who would have that much rage in them to kill her? And yes, that would be Jack D. That's not the case here. 4 people were killed in this home. 4, not 1, 4. And whether or not Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, or Xana were the target, all 4 of them died. There is not one shred of evidence out there that anybody can corroborate that pinpoints at this moment who that specific person is that was targeted, or persons. Was it just Maddie? Was it just Kaylee? Was it just Xana? Was it just Ethan? Was it Maddie and Xana that were targeted? Was it possibly Ethan? You see what I'm saying? So nobody really knows conclusively who was specifically targeted. We only speculate that it's most likely one of the girls or both of the girls upstairs. Why are we speculating that? Because we have now seen the inside of the house. We now know that Ethan and Xana were on the 2nd floor, and somebody had to make it up to the 3rd floor. Or even if they made it up to the 3rd floor and did their deed up there, they still had to come down. But what would make them go on the other side of the house to Xana's room? Did they go there first? Did they go there second? We don't even have that information. How, if we can't even tell you which order these people died in, how are we able to point a finger at, say, somebody like Jack D? Don't you think that's like way off base at this moment? Especially in light of the FBI, state police, Moscow police, and the family clearing this boy. For some people, that's not good enough. For some people, that's not good enough. And for those creators that are still going down this road of it being Jack D, please come here. Get in a plane, come here, and as soon as you're here, you will change your mind. You will know immediately when you get here and start talking to just a shred of people and get actual firsthand information. You will realize very quickly, Jack D is not involved. The only involvement he had was being at the corner club, trying to, get back. Kaylee was going back. Kaylee was going back. Every day she talked to him. That's an interesting theory. I think so too. I think somebody actually alleged that it was Bethany's phone as well, and I don't know who. Remember Daniel Youngkin shut down, and he definitely knew what happened. I do believe he knew what happened. But you know who I believe may know what happened is Dylan and Kaylee. I also heard on there that, we were, a creator was talking about, I can't remember who, I was watching a few of them yesterday or late last night while Olivia was editing videos. Oh crap, I gotta get going. Editing videos, and somebody said that the girls, the furniture, another girl had sold Dylan furniture. Well, that furniture was on the second floor. So people are alleging that it's possible that Dylan was actually residing on the second floor at the time of this crime. And my question is, if she was on the second floor, now how in the hell did she not hear anything? But again, that's not corroborated. It's not fact. It's speculation and theory. We have no confirmation from anybody that Dylan resided on the second floor. So hopefully law enforcement, hearing law enforcement dancing around with releasing of the 911 tape. I hope they do. Oh, hey, Lisa Marie. Oh, thank you. God bless you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys are too sweet. You guys are too sweet. All right, guys. Well, I really do need to get out of here. This is what I'd like you guys to do. You guys have a little bit of homework. For those that participate in this true crime stuff on this channel, you guys got some homework. My email is bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Pretty easy to remember. If you remember my name, you know my email address, okay? In my opinion, is Dylan... Okay. Dodging Bullet says, my opinion is that Dylan is working with LE and is staying quiet on social media. She had to have heard much. I agree, Dodging Bullets. I think she did. I do. If she's on that second floor, I still don't understand how they couldn't hear anything on the first floor. I mean, the only thing that would prevent them from hearing something on the first floor is if there was a slab on top of that bottom thing, and they were built onto that slab. Now, we saw in the back, because on Xana's room, you see a red substance. To be factual, let's be factual. There's a red substance dripping down the slab on that side of the house. You can clearly see it. Some people said, oh, it must be motor oil. Really? Tell me what 20-year-old girl's got motor oil in her freaking bedroom. It's hard. It's almost hard as heck. It's like pulling teeth to get your young adults to go change their oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, let alone having oil in their room. Like, some people, I'm telling you, they're mental. Something's wrong upstairs. And so what's the last thing? I can't even remember. But anyways, guys, I got to start getting ready. It's go time. So we'll see you guys soon. We got a long day. I hope you guys like the stuff. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to help sponsor or support this trip or any of our upcoming trips, you can do that by providing a donation or a tip for entertainment to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you. I hope you guys make it a great day. And, we're going to be out here. I hope you like the content that we are going to be providing you. I hope it provides clarity on some of the stuff that we've been hearing out there in the ether. And I hope you enjoy it. So God bless. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Good.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.